a lot of research on early sexual education, delayed sexual education, and no sexual education. Dr. Chita says children who are well equipped with information at an early age showed no higher rate of sexual promiscuity compared to those who had had the knowledge later or were completely oblivious. What does that tell you? That is why I am here for you. So today I'm going to be sharing with you 5 reasons parents delay sexual education. The first one I have to share with you is religious, familiar, social, and cultural traditions. Yes, what are our traditions? What are our religion? What does our environment say about sex? I found out that like most of our family, even my parents, my sex education was delayed. I knew about sex education from the outside, like from my peer group, before I could know, like before I saw my menses. My mom actually told me something in regards to sex when I saw my menses. Not full details. I remember when I saw my menses, the first day I saw my menses, my mom was like, congratulations, you are now a woman. Do you know what? Don't go close to any man, because once you get to any man, you will get pregnant. That was my mom's sex education. I'm not going to blame her. I'm not going to say this. I'm not going to say that, because that is her own culture. They have this belief that when you say sex to a child, like it's a big deal, the child will become promiscuous. This child is going to be wayward. When you start explaining what a man and a woman do to a child, these were their own belief. You get, I think it's high time we correct it. Yes, because our religion, our culture makes sex to look like something big that should not be spoken about. It makes sense to look like something big that like parents should not communicate. So I think our religion, culture should also be worked upon, because this is the major reason why most parents delay their sex education for their children, or they don't give their sex education to their children. Then the second point I have to share with you is badly handled sex education by parents' own parents. Yes, it's possible, like if I don't really get a good sex education from my own parents, it will be difficult for me to give my own child sex education. But thank God I'm a nurse. I have been able to get a good knowledge, and I pray for the courage to actually give that education, because it's easier to say than to do. So if my parents had not given me a good sex education, giving it to my child would be very, very difficult. Yes, it's going to be difficult. So that also affects. Then that takes me to the third point, which is a discomfort with imaging one's child as a future sexual being. It's possible our parents were thinking, oh, my child will not be doing what I am doing, or my child will have an ideal of what I am doing, or my child will know that this and this happened. So that imaging in their mind, that imaging in their brain is making them have this discomfort to actually start up a sex educational chat or conversation with their child. Then that takes me to the fourth point, is embarrassment over what the child may ask the parents about their own sex life. They may be like, oh, if I now explain in details to this child now, what if the child now asks me, oh, mom and dad, are you people doing it? Mom and dad, how are you people doing it? Mom and dad, when do you people? So that embarrassment that comes with the question that a child is going to ask makes parents delay sex education for their children. Then the fifth point I have to share with you is a parent carrying trauma for having been sexually abused as a child or the victim of sexual assault. So if my parents, or if I am sexually abused or traumatized as a result of sexual assault, that is going to affect how I am going to pass sex education to my child, or even go to the extent of not even having the courage to give my child sex education. I'm going to share an example of what happened. A young lady was assaulted, not really assaulted, let me not use this word, because she was actually dating the guy. They were dating, the guy made promises, I will never leave you. Then finally she opened her body, the guy had sex with her, she became pregnant. During the whole pregnancy, the guy denied, abandoned her. I was like, I don't know you, I was not responsible. She was like, oh, but you made me those promises, you said you were going to be there for me, you said you will never leave me no matter what happened. Now I'm carrying your child, you are leaving me. So the girl had to deal with that post-traumatic stress disorder, went through the whole pregnancy phase alone, gave birth to this child alone, and the guy was nowhere to be found, was not there. So she had to give the child to the mom and went out to pursue her own dream. So the child she gave birth to grew up into a beautiful young lady that most men kept running about. So whenever this woman sees her daughter with a man, she gets mad at the girl. She poured her aggression because deep down within her, she feels that what happened to her, what the male counterpart did to her, is going to happen to her daughter. She always bullied her daughter, like, I don't want to see you with any man. I don't want to see any man around you. Just go inside. Things like that. So that persisted for long, like it continues for long. Like she kept on doing that. The child felt the mom didn't like her. The child started having some security issues, start feeling that mom was her worst enemy, start trying to reason why her mom hates her or things like that, start having this strong hatred for her mom. But the mom was not confident enough to still pass that sex education to this child. So that persisted for long, and that affected the child academically and otherwise, because she didn't really know why her mom was upstate talking to, like, avoiding her. So she went out. Then finally she got useful sex education outside. Like, is it useful? No, she got sex education outside. They taught her wrongly. She also got pregnant, same way her mom got pregnant. Yes. So now the mom is reading with regret. She was like, if she had known, she would have had educated her daughter on what happened to her to avoid it repeating itself again. You get that? Because of that trauma. So what I'm trying to say is that as a lady, no matter how traumatized you are, I've diverted, no matter how traumatized you are from past experience, it's important you let your daughters know what sex is, what it is for a man to have a penis and they have a vulva and a vagina. Sorry, I wanted to use the P word. They have a vagina and a vulva. They should be educated at an early age. So these are the various reasons why parents tend to delay sex educations. And I don't think it's important. It is good for us to mention the word sex to our kids, because in the world we are, there are a lot of people abusing kids. And these kids are unable to come outside to speak out because they were not educated. They don't really know. They'll say, oh, what's this? This is your, how do they put it now? There's a word they normally call it. They don't used to say John Thomas, and that's how I got used to John Thomas. A boy, they call it John Thomas, things like that. I think it's important for parents to start teaching their children about sex education. I'm going to be making a video at what age, what should a child know at age 3, at age 5, at age 9, at age 12. I'm going to be doing a video on that, a more comprehensive video on that, so you can watch and start giving your child the useful sex education before the world and the peer group, social media, give your child what they are not supposed to get. Anyway, thank you very much for staying tuned. Thank you very much for watching this video. Don't forget to like, don't forget to subscribe, and also don't forget to share with a friend if you got value. For all my returning subscribers, this is Nurse Mary saying thank you. Bye, and see you in our next video.